So this is a Coachman VIP 575. It's going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. The jockey wheel, hitch and handbrake will take you through in person here on site. I'll also explain the ATC while you're here as well. Front locker, you've got your two gas bottle tie downs with your gas regulator up on the bulkhead. Gas pipe work is available to buy here on site, and that doesn't come with the caravan itself. Got your Aldi gas, Aldi heating flue on the side of the caravan for the heating and hot water systems. Never cover that up at all. Always allow it to be uncovered so it can breathe outside the van as it needs to. That does also get quite hot, so bear that in mind when you are around this side of the van. You've then got your wind down legs on each side of the caravan at the front. They are just there for stabilising the caravan rather than lifting the caravan off the ground. If you lifted the caravan off the ground with these, you could potentially damage the floor of the van. You've then got your water pump connection. The water pump connection, pull the blue trigger back, push it into the side of the van to lock it in, and then release the trigger and it will lock into place, and then you do the opposite to release it, so pull the trigger back and pull backwards, and like I said, that will release from the van. The actual pump itself drops down inside the acro roll down the side of the caravan here. We've then got your battery box with your battery terminals. 12mm spanner will loosen and tighten those once it's on top of the battery. Mains power lead coming into the side of the caravan, and your motor mover power switch, which will take you through here on site. As I said, motor mover will demonstrate while you're here. Wheel nuts will torque as well before you leave site, so you can see they've been tightened correctly, and they'll be torqued to 120 Newton meters. Two grey waste pipes coming out the side of the caravan, very simple to use. You push your grey pipes into the side of the van, and they'll drop down into the waste master. Don't need to do anything with them at all. Obviously, when you're not using the van, you can cover them up with these caps here. However, when you're travelling, I just advise you leave them open so any last bits of water shake out of the pipe work. On the back of the van here, you have your toilet flush tank, so you'll open this up and put 3.5 litres of water in here and a cap full of the pink fluid prior to use. At the bottom, you have your toilet waste cassette, which you release by pulling out the orange handle and pulling the cassette towards you. The neck turns out so you can tip the waste away, and you've got a measure there for your pink and your blue fluid. And on the back of the cassette, you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. Before you use this cassette, you'll need to put 1 litre of water in here and a cap full of the blue fluid. On the rear of the caravan, again, you have your wind down legs to stabilise the van. As I discussed at the front, you wouldn't lift the caravan up with those legs. Underbed storage at the rear allows you access to the underbed storage unit. You've then got your fridge vents. Essentially, they are there to let hot air out the back of the fridge unit and take some cool air in. And behind one of those, there is also a gas flue. 3-pin socket, so you can have power coming out to your awning, and a barbecue gas point on the front, and the last of your wind down legs. Go inside the caravan. Very simple to use caravan. So once you've got your power connected, or you've got your battery on board, if you're off grid, you'll hit the master power switch to turn the power on board the caravan. You've got your internal lighting on and off. You've got your awning light for the outside of the caravan and your water pump run. You have got some options in the control panel. For those, we do advise you read the manual. Internal temperature, battery voltage, then it will take you back to the time screen as well. First thing you need to do is fill the water system on board the caravan. So first of all, you're going to come over to every tap on board the caravan. You will notice that I've already filled the system up. So you're going to open all the taps up on the hot side of the water heating. It's on the red side here. You're going to leave them open. I'm just going to shut them off because I've already filled the system. Once you've got all those taps open, so that's the kitchen sink, the bathroom sink and the shower tap on the hot side, you're going to come underneath the seat on the right hand side of the van at the front, and down in the corner, just on the left hand side of screen here, you're going to have your yellow drain down valve. Now that drain down valve, when it's parallel with the floor, will allow you to fill the water system up on board the caravan. And if that valve is pointing upright towards the bottom of the seat, it'll actually drain all the water out of the system on board the van. So like I said, parallel with the floor to fill the system, upright to drain the water out for storage, and winter storage more importantly. I would advise though you drain the system completely after every use. And when you do drain down the water system, I'd advise that you open all the taps up in the central position, between the hot and the cold, fully open, so that the water system can get air back through the pipe, so it pushes the water back out and down through the drain valve. But like I said, filling the system parallel with the floor. So you'll have all the taps open, as we discussed, and then you'll come to the control panel above the door, and you'll turn the water pump on, and it will say pump on the control panel above the door. Once that water system's full, as it is now, and you've got water coming out of every tap continuously, as we have here, you can then shut all of the taps back off, and you can start warming the water on board the van. So above where the fridge area is, you'll see this silver control panel on the wall. To get it to come on, you need to press the power button on the left hand side. Top right hand corner, you'll have a symbol indicating that the mains power is coming into the caravan. And below that, you'll have the internal room temperature, or current internal temperature. Press the menu button and it will take you into your options. So you've got minus or plus for your room heating. So the higher you go, the warmer the caravan will be. It goes all the way up to 30 degrees, and that is a real 30 degrees rather than a hamster blowing on you kind of warm air. Below that, you have the water temperature. So you've got water on when the bar is half full, and then water boost when that bar is completely full. If that is off completely, it will actually not warm the water at all. So you've got water on and water boost. Below that, you have the amount of power coming into the caravan. So depending on what caravan site you're on, you'll have an option of 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of power coming into the caravan. Now, the only way you'll know what power you have coming into the caravan is by asking the site office when you arrive on site. So like I said, 1 kilowatt, 2 or 3, depending on what site you're on. You'll then select the relevant power source here, and that will control just the heating and hot water. However, if you're off-grid and you want to use gas as the power source, you can press the gas button at the bottom here, which will start warming up, which will self-ignite as long as the gas is turned on. And if it failed to ignite, it will actually come up with gas fail at the bottom of the screen with 2 exclamation marks either end. So that is your heating and hot water control panel. Very simple to use. So room temperature, water temperature, amount of power coming to the caravan, and gas on or off at the bottom. You have got some advanced options in these 2 buttons here, where you can set programs for your heating and hot water, etc. But for those, we do advise you read the manual that comes with the caravan. Just so you're aware, the 240 ring on the cooker will only work when you're connected to mains power. It will not work off the 12 volt supply on board the caravan, and that is the same when we go to the fridge. The fridge, when it's on the plug symbol, will only work on the 240 mains, and if it's on the battery symbol, it'll only work off the 12 volt supply from the car you're towing with, and not the 12 volt supply on board the caravan. So, going to the fridge, you've got power on the left hand side. As you can see, the fridge has come on. At the moment, it's connected to mains power. So if you're on mains power, you can control the fridge temperature on the button on the right hand side. You can go across to 12 volt mode, and as you can see at the moment, it's flashing at me telling me there is no 12 volt connected. What that means again is, just so you're aware, is the 12 volt supply from the car, not the caravan. It is only a cool box when it is connected to the car, not a fridge. Gas mode, very simple to use. Again, if you've got the gas turned on in the front locker of the caravan, you'll be able to ignite the fridge on gas, and it will work from the gas power on board the van. Again, on gas, you can control the temperature of the fridge on the button on the right hand side, and if it fails to ignite, it will flash the screen a bit like it did on the 12 volt mode and have an error code 9 with a spanner on the right hand side. Put it back onto automatic mains for now, so every time you connect up, essentially you've got mains power inside of the van, it will go straight to that power source. Microwave up in the cupboard above the control panel for the heating and hot water is actually an eco microwave, so you need to press the eco button on the right hand side there to get the microwave to wake back up. There is a reminder on the front of the screen just here. Going through into the bathroom now to explain the toilet system. The toilet system has an electric flush on top. Obviously you need to fill the system on the outside for that to work with the water. You've got a full indicator light that lets you know when the toilet waste cassette is completely full on board the caravan. The toilet seat itself does actually turn for your convenience. However, when you are removing the cassette from under the caravan, the toilet needs to be in the position it's in now. If it's turned at all, it'll actually lock the toilet waste cassette in place, so it can't be removed while the toilet is being used. The same effect will happen if you have the grey waste handle open underneath the toilet and you decide to try and remove the cassette. It'll actually lock it in place. You will need to make sure that it's open before you use the loo. So all waste goes down straight into the cassette, as it's not like a normal household toilet where you have the water in the bottom of it. So like I said, you'd have that open, flush, and then we always advise you shut that back off when you aren't using the toilet. One other thing to remember is to be careful of the towel rail next to the toilet. The reason being is they hold heat for quite a while and they do get extremely hot, so do bear that in mind while you're using the caravan. So that is the Coachman VIP 575. If you have any further questions on the van, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'll be more than happy to help. We thank you for the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.